After my 4 tours in Iraq, I came back and then I was shipped off to Afghanistan, where I spent 3 years. And it was a living nightmare. But it really wasn't nothing like living out on the streets here in Juneau.
The Juneau Housing First Collaborative wants to add 45 more residential units. Rent is based on income, and sobriety is not required to live there.
When I first moved in here, I did not think of sobriety happening for me. But since I've been here and I have access to these things, the clinic here, and I'm able to go home and be in a safe place, safe environment. Yes, definitely a place like this helps.
The facility currently has 32 units for highly vulnerable individuals.
For a woman on the streets, it's pretty dangerous. Very dangerous. If you don't have another half with you, if you don't have a boyfriend with you and you're on the streets, it's pretty dangerous. I was sleeping at a spot and I was alone, and a guy had tried to push himself into my sleeping bag. He said he was just trying to get warm, but that was terrifying. And I warned him, I told him to get out of my sleeping bag, and luckily he listened to that.
A new study shows a big drop in usage of emergency services for people who moved into the facility. Housing First is asking the City and Borough of Juneau for a $4.2 million commitment. They hope to find additional funding that would bring the city's share down to $1.5 million.
It took some getting used to and everything. I mean, it was nice to be able to take a shower whenever I want, and, go to the bathroom. Being out on the streets, 2 o'clock in the morning, there's no place to go to the bathroom, so I gotta find some place out in the woods.
So you're trying to get some rest. You only got certain hours. You start sleeping around midnight, hopefully, get woken up by whoever's coming out of the bars and whatever may be going on, any kind of hassle. And then cops come around 5, 6 o'clock, wake you up, and then you got to keep moving for the rest of the day. You're walking around all day trying a place to find a rest, trying to sit down, have a, relax for a second, but that can't happen. You don't have your own space. People come up to you and you want a drink, and you're like, what else am I going to do? Here I can go into my room. I might be frustrated, might have an anger management problem that day, but I could go into my room, close the door, and deal with it in a healthier manner.
I'm an alcoholic. I will not denounce that. Sometimes my appetite's just not there. When I'm hungover or whatever, I just cannot eat nothing. But when my appetite is there, I need to answer it. And it's nice to be able to do that, because I got a kitchen up there and everything.
Well, I'm sober longer. My addiction is alcohol. That's the way I deal with the depression and frustration and stress. It's something I've used for a long time. No, I see myself possibly even making this as a stepping stone and getting back out on my own, hopefully. I don't know. I see a lot of help here. I was sober for a couple of weeks. I drank a couple of days ago, and it was just a few drinks that night, and I sobered up the next day. If I were out on the street, I would have woke up that next day. Someone would have came over and was like, hey, what are you doing, Mary? Then it's right there in your face. Here you could lock the door.
How is your drinking habits? How have they changed from when you were living on the street?
I find it's actually cut off a lot because I sleep a lot more. I get out there and I work, like my sister, needs me a lot. I go and I babysit my nieces and my nephew and everything. And it's being with my family, and this is the only family I have left, because when I was brought back from Afghanistan, I was brought back because my twin brother was killed.
Oh, please don't think of us as just people just pushed aside. You know, I mean, pushed aside to die of alcoholism or whatever. Give us a chance. I mean, I know I could benefit from this place. And if I can, somebody else can. You know, I'm going to keep going back to the fact that I have these, this help at the tips of my fingers. I'm here, I'm able to call down to the office and say I need to talk to the nurse, I need to talk to Jamie, or, you know, that's, I can't describe the need for something like this, especially if you've been on the streets for years and years and years. And people, they only see the surface. They don't see what's underneath. They don't know. They don't know where you came from. They don't know what you dealt with. They just see what's lying on top. They don't see the rest of it.
I still have a lot of friends out there on the street and everything, and I think about them all the time. Unfortunately, I'm only allowed to have a friend over one night a week. I mean, they're out there 6 other nights a week, going through what I was going through when I was out there.